All right, are you Seth Ryan Bailey appearing there from the jail?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, this is case number 23 CR 90, State of Ohio versus Seth Ryan Beatty. Mr. Beatty is appearing by remote broadcast through the Zoom platform from the jail. His attorney is William Armentrout, appearing from his office, appearing from the prosecutor's office, Prosecutor King, Assistant Prosecutor King. This is a bail review hearing. Mr. King, were the representative of the victims, are there actual identifiable victims in this case?
Yes, sir, Your Honor. And the legal custodian of the alleged victim has been notified in this hearing, indicated she would not be present.
Okay. All right. Mr. Beatty's charged with 2 second-degree felonies, pandering obscenity involving a minor. The bond was set last Thursday, or Friday, I guess it was. So, Mr. Armentrout, would you like to speak to the motion?
Yeah, I think the bond is set at $25,000 right now. Certainly don't want it to be the seriousness of these alleged violations. They do belong, or do involve former girlfriend. Seth has close ties to live with his family. He's a young man. Obviously, this is his first felony charge. We'd ask the court to consider something. I don't know if the court would go to an OR. I believe that he would appear for all hearings, judge, but he can't. There's no way he can make a $25,000 bond.
All right, Mr. King.
Thank you, Your Honor. Given the serious nature of this charge, I would ask that the current bond remain in place. But also note that this defendant has displayed a pattern of not showing up in court. He appears to have active warrants right now out of both Chillicothe Municipal Court and Wilmington Municipal Court, or Clinton County Municipal Court. So, based on that, I would ask that the current bond remain in place.
Well, these are serious charges, I think, of second-degree felonies, and given the seriousness of the offenses as well as the prior failures to appear, or at least the warrants are outstanding and have been served, the court will leave bond the same. All right, thank you. All right, Dustin Schwalbach. All right, case number 23 CR 91, State of Ohio versus Dustin Jack Schwalbach. Are you Justin Jack Schwalbach?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, this is a bond review hearing being conducted by Zoom. Mr. Schwalbach is appearing from the jail. His attorney is William Armentrout, appearing from his office. Appearing on behalf of the state's Assistant Prosecutor King. Bench charged with having a weapon under disability and forfeiture. The court arraigned him without counsel last Friday, and the matter was set for review this morning. Bond was $10,000 set by the court on Friday, or actually on Thursday. All right, Mr. Armentrout.
Remember, sir, at the preliminary level, he was granted an OR bond on the condition to get into a rehab. We'd ask the court to consider that here. I spoke with Ms. Sturgeon. Apparently, the holdup right now is in Mayo, Fayette County, 30-some-odd days in jail up there. I don't know if that can be overcome or not. I guess if that's resolved, that's the court to consider if he could get into immediately to an inpatient rehab an OR bond.
Mr. King.
State would ask that the current bond remain in place, Your Honor. I would note that this defendant has prior convictions for aggravated robbery and aggravated assault. That's all.
All right, I also see as a previous conviction of failure to appear on an OR bond. In 2022. So, given the fact that there's apparently a holder on him from Fayette County, until that's resolved, it wouldn't be possible for him to be released to a treatment facility. That may be something the court could consider in the future, but for now, the court will keep the bond the same, subject to further review if those other matters can be worked out. All right, thank you.
May I see, Dustin?
All right, Timothy James Williams, Jr. Appearing from the jail. Okay, this is case number 23 CR 95, State of Ohio versus Timothy James Williams Jr. It's a bond review hearing being conducted remotely by Zoom. He is Mr. Williams appearing from the jail. His attorney is Catherine Hapner, who's appearing from her office. Appearing from the prosecutor's office, Assistant Prosecutor King. The defendant was arraigned last Friday, I believe, for failure to comply with the order signal of a police officer, a third-degree felony. And since bond was set in the absence of counsel, this matter is being set for review here this morning. Bond was set at $10,000. Ms. Hapner?
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, Mr. Williams is a drug addict. He went to treatment and I believe was initially successful with that treatment. He was in release, he was out, and he relapsed, and that's what led to his current charge. It's my understanding that Mr. is working on getting him back into either a relapse prevention program or back into residential treatment. So we would ask that when a debt is available, that he be released on an OR bond to complete that treatment.
Mr. King?
Well, the state would ask the current bond remain in place given the nature of this charge. I believe that the $10,000 bond is appropriate. Would also note that this defendant is under post-release control supervision for a 2019 conviction for the same charge of failure to comply and also for burglary. That's all, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. Well, based upon the history and the nature of the offense, the court will leave the bond the same. In the event there's new information or circumstances that exist, that can be reconsidered at a future date. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, are you James Eric Braley?
Yes, sir.
All right, this is case number 23 CR 118, State of Ohio versus James Eric Braley. Mr. Braley has been indicted by the grand jury on the 6th of June for receiving stolen property and a forfeiture specification. Present for the state is Assistant Prosecuting Attorney King. Mr. King, have the alleged victim of the offense been notified of the time, place, and purpose of this hearing and their right to be heard?
Yes, they have, Your Honor, and they indicated they would not be present.
Okay. All right. The indictment alleges Mr. Braley in count 4 that on or about November 10, 2022 in this county, Joshua Lee Arnold and you did receive or retain or dispose of a 2015 Kawasaki UTV valued at over $7,500, less than $150,000. It belonged to another person, and that you knew or had reasonable cause to believe had been obtained through the commission of a theft offense. And then count 5 alleges that on or about that November 10th, 2022 in this county, you and Mr. Arnold had in your possession $1,500 U.S. currency subject to forfeiture. Now, the fourth count is a fourth-degree felony. If convicted, that carries a possible sentence of between 6 and 18 months imprisonment and a fine of $5,000. Now, you're entitled to have an attorney to represent you. If you can't afford to hire an attorney, the court will appoint one for you. And I see that you have filled out an application, or a financial disclosure form. And is everything on this form correct?
Yes, the job I have is not, it's under the table, and I didn't know if I should put that on there, so.
Okay.
But everything is on there that I put on there, so.
All right. Okay, the court will appoint attorney Sarah Barger to represent you. And in the absence of counsel, I'll enter a not guilty plea on your behalf. All right, state wish to be heard on bond.
Your Honor, the state would just ask the bond be set at $15,000. I do know this defendant is currently on community control from a conviction that occurred earlier this year in this quarter.
This offense predates that, though? Predates the community control or not?
This offense predates the community control, yes.
Okay. I'm going to set the bond as OR only, plus an OR bond. A deposit of $171 to cover statutory required fees, has to be paid within 30 days. We'll set your first pretrial, Mr. Braley, for July the 5th at 2:30 p.m. Final pretrial will be July the 19th at 2:30 p.m. and your trial date will be August 7 at 8 a.m. Now, upon release from custody, you'll report to the probation department, 117 East Main Street, Must report to them once a week for 4 weeks, and after that, as they determine, undergo random drug testing in order, provide phone numbers for home, cell, and employer. Have no contact with alleged victim. Have no contact with co-defendant Joshua Arnold. If recommended by probation, you'll be evaluated for substance abuse or mental health issues, may treatments indicated. You enroll in and follow that during the pendency of this action. You'll also be under house arrest at your residence at 6814 Shawbaker Road, unless you're working, going to and from work, medical appointments, court proceedings in this or any other case. You also can attend appointments with a probation officer or attorney in this or any other case. You may also attend any kind of schooling, job training, educational programming, or church services. Other than that, you have to be there at all times. And these conditions in your reporting will be in addition to your reporting that you're doing now for your regular probation. All right, you have any questions?
Am I allowed to still go back and forth to my rehab that I'm going to?
Yeah, that's medical treatment. Yes.
Okay, okay.
All right, thank you. All right, are you Sally Michelle McKenzie?
Yes, sir.
All right, this is case number 23 CR 109, State of Ohio versus Sally Michelle McKenzie. Mr. McKenzie, you were indicted by the grand jury on the 6th of June for aggravated trafficking of methamphetamine and aggravated possession of methamphetamine. It alleges that these offenses both occurred on or about November 1, 2022 in this county. The first count alleges that you knowingly sold or offered to sell methamphetamine, and the second count alleges that you possessed it. The first count is a fourth-degree felony, which carries possible prison term between 6 and 18 months and a fine of $5,000 and a license suspension of 6 months to 5 years. The second count is a fifth-degree felony, which, if convicted, carries a possible sentence of 6 to 12 months in prison, a fine of $2,500, and a possible license suspension of 6 months to 5 years. Now, you're entitled to have an attorney to represent you in this matter. If you cannot afford to hire one, a court will appoint one for you. Have you been in court on this case before today?
No, sir.
All right, that's all I ask. All right, the court will appoint then attorney Attorney Danielle Witt of Hillsborough, Ohio, to represent you. In the absence of counsel, I'll enter a not guilty plea on your behalf.
Your Honor, if I may?
No,
Sorry.
don't speak. When I want you to speak,
Sorry.
I'll answer. Right now, I'm thinking and reading, so I need to concentrate on that, and then I'll go on here. All right. We will set a bail review hearing on your case for Thursday morning. That will be June the 15th at 8:30 by Zoom. Your first pre-trial will be July the 5th at 1:00 p.m. Final pre-trial will be August the 2nd at 1:00 p.m. Your trial date will be August 28th at 8 a.m. Bond will be set in the amount of $5,000 plus your own recognizance, which is your promise to appear. If you fail to appear, you could be prosecuted for an additional felony, and if convicted, sentenced on that no matter what happens in this case. You'll also be under pretrial supervision of the probation department at 117 East Main Street. You report to them immediately upon your release. You report to them once a week for 4 weeks, and then after that, as they determine, undergo random drug testing they may order, provide phone numbers for home, cell, employer. If recommended by probation, you'll be evaluated for substance abuse or mental health issues. If any treatment's indicated, you'll enroll in and follow that during the pendency of this action. You'll also be under house arrest at your residence, meaning you have to be there at all times unless you're working, going to and, wait a minute, I don't have her financial disclosure form here. You did fill out a financial disclosure form, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
Huh? Oh, okay, yeah, go print it out, would you? All right. And what's your residence address?
13529 Cynthiana Road, Hillsborough, Ohio.
All right, you'll be under house arrest at that residence at all times unless you're working, going to and from work, medical appointments, court proceedings in this or any other case, appointment with an attorney or probation officer in this or any other case. You can also attend any kind of educational programming, job training, classes, etc., or church services. Other than that, you have to be there at all times. Now, do you have any questions?
Oh, sir, I just don't understand. I've not done anything in so many years that
Okay,
this is
I
just.
just asked if you had any questions. Do you have any questions? I don't,
Yes.
now's not the time to make a statement. You can talk to your attorney about that.
Yeah, but no, sir.
All right, thank you. Oh, God's sake, people.
Oh, man.
This is Divine. Divine. There's his. All right, thank you. All right, are you Dwayne D. Divine?
Yes, sir.
All right, this is case number jail by video. Mr. Devine, you were indicted by the grand jury on 5 counts on June the 6th. The first alleges that on or about November 8th in this county, 2022 in this county, you not only are offered to sell at retail a dangerous drug, gabapentin. Count 2 alleges on about the same date you did possess for sale at retail a dangerous drug, to it, gabapentin. Count 3 alleges on or about November 8, 2022, you in this county not only sold or offered to sell marijuana. Count 4 alleges on or about the same date in this county, you and a Tiffany Sue McKenzie not only sold or offered to sell buprenorphine. Schedule 3, controlled substance. Count 5 alleges on or about the same date in this county, you and she not only possessed that. Now, count 1 is a 4th-degree felony, which if convicted carries a possible prison term between 6 and 18 months and a fine of $5,000. Counts 2, 3, and 4 are 5th-degree felonies, carry a possible prison term between 6 and 12 months. If convicted, a fine of $2,500, and a possible license suspension on all 4 of those charges is 6 months to 5 years. And then the 5th count is a 1st-degree misdemeanor, which carries a possible prison term of, a jail term of 180 days and a fine of $1,000. Now, you are entitled to have an attorney to represent you in this matter, and if you can't afford to hire one, the court will appoint one for you. And is this the first time you've been in court on this case? on this case?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
thank you. All right. All right, the court appoint Attorney Catherine Hapner of Hillsborough, Ohio, to represent you. And in the absence of counsel, I'll enter a not guilty plea on your behalf. We'll set a bond review hearing for Thursday morning, 15th, at 8:30 by Zoom. Your first pretrial will be set for July the 5th at 1:00 p.m. Your final pretrial will be August 2 at 1:00 by Zoom, and your trial date will be set for August the 28th at 8 a.m. That will be in person. Your bond will be set in the amount of $5,000 plus your own recognizance, and that's your promise to appear. And if you fail to appear, you could be convicted of or prosecuted for an additional felony, and if convicted, sentenced on that, no matter what happens in this case. You'll be required to pay certain $171 deposit prior to release for certain statutorily required fees. You'll be under pretrial supervision of the probation department at 117 East Main Street. You'll report to them immediately upon your release. Report to them once a week for 4 weeks, and after that, as they determine, undergo random drug testing, provide current phone numbers for home, cell, and employer. Have no contact with a co-defendant, who is Tiffany Sue McKenzie. If recommended by probation, you'll be evaluated for substance abuse or mental health issues. If any treatments indicated, you enroll in and follow that during the period of this action. You'll also be under house arrest at your residence at 11476 Cathy Court in Hillsborough, meaning you have to be there at all times unless you're working, going to and from work, medical appointments, court proceedings in this or any other case. You may also attend any kind of appointments with an attorney or probation officer for this or any other case. You can attend any kind of schooling, job training, educational programming of any sort. And also you may attend church services. Other than that, you have to be there at all times. If you fail to comply, then the court could revoke that bond and have you held till further order of the court. Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
All right, thank you.
Sir.
Be quiet.
All right, are you Tiffany Sue McKenzie?
Yes.
All right, this is case number 23 CR 113, State of Ohio versus Tiffany Sue McKenzie. McKenzie, you were indicted by the grand jury on the 6th of June along with Dwayne David Devine on count 4 and 5 of a joint indictment. Count 4 alleges that on or about November 8, 2022 in this county, you and Mr. Devine did knowingly sell or offer to sell buprenorphine, a Schedule 3 controlled substance. And then count 5 alleges on about the same date the two of you possessed that. The fourth count is a 5th-degree felony which carries a possible prison term if convicted of between 6 and 12 months, fine of $2,500. The 5th count is a 1st-degree misdemeanor which carries a possible sentence if convicted of 180 days, up to 180 days in jail, and a fine of $1,000. Now, you're entitled to have an attorney to represent you in this matter. If you can't afford to hire one, the court will appoint one for you. And I see you have filled out a financial disclosure form. Is everything on this form correct? Is everything on this
Yes.
form correct?
Yes.
And he says you're self-employed. What do you do?
I get, it's not self-employed, I didn't see anywhere for disability, but I also, I get disability and I started a small business for lawn care.
Oh, I see
Kinda like
here.
side-
Okay, I see your disability. SSI?
Yeah,
Okay.
and then I started a little business where, lawn care and everything.
All right, that's all I need to know. All right. Court will appoint attorney Sarah Barger of Hillsborough, Ohio to represent you, and in the absence of counsel, I'll enter a not guilty plea on your behalf. Set a bail review hearing for Thursday morning, the 15th of June at 8:30 a.m. by Zoom. First pretrial will be set for July the 5th at 1 o'clock p.m. Final pretrial will be August the 2nd at 1 o'clock p.m. Trial date will be August the 28th at 8 a.m. Bond will be set in the amount $2,500 plus your own recognizance, which is your promise to appear. If you fail to appear, you could be prosecuted for additional felony. And if convicted, sentenced on that, no matter what happens in this case. You'll be required to report to the probation department at 117 East Main Street, Hillsborough, Ohio. You'll report to them immediately upon your release. If you make bond, you'll be required to report to them once a week for 4 weeks after that as they determine. Undergo random drug testing, provide phone numbers for home, son, employer, have no contact with Dwayne David Devine, the co-defendant, recommended by probation. You'll be evaluated for substance abuse and mental health issues, and if any treatment's indicated, you'll enroll in and follow that during the pendency of this action. And you'll also be under house arrest at your residence at 10862 Hiawatha,
Yes.
Hillsborough, Ohio. And if you must be there at all times unless you are working, going to and from work, any kind of medical treatment. You can attend any kind of appointments with an attorney or probation officer in this or any other case, as well as court hearings in those. You may also attend any kind of job training, educational programming, classes, etc., or church services. Other than that, you have to be there at all times. If you fail to comply, then the court could revoke that bond, have you held to further order of court. Do you have any questions?
It's hard for me to understand you in here. Can I get OR out? Because I take care of my mom too.
I gave you a $2,500 bond plus OR, so that's the bond. Now, that'll be reviewed on Thursday morning after your attorney has a chance to worry about your case. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, are you Donald Earl Elliott?
Yes, sir.
All right, this is case number 23 CR 114, State of Ohio versus Donald Earl Elliott. You were indicted by the grand jury, Mr. Elliott, looks like on June the 6th, on, along with two other persons, Jamie Weiskup and Donna Marie McKenzie. You are indicted in 10 counts. And count 1, aggravated trafficking of methamphetamine in the vicinity of a school, of a juvenile, I should say, alleges that on or about September 15th of last year in this county, you knowingly sold or offered to sell methamphetamine amount equal to or exceeding bulk, less than 5 times bulk in the vicinity of a juvenile. Count 2 alleges on or about the same day you knowingly possessed that. Count 3 alleges that you, on or about September 16, 2022 in this county, knowingly sold or offered to sell methamphetamine, an amount equal to or exceeding bulk, but less than 5 times bulk. Count 5 alleges you did the same thing again on September 19, 2022, and that one was in the vicinity of his juvenile, allegedly. Count 7 alleges on or about September 21st, 22, you did the same thing, not in the vicinity of a juvenile. And then count 9 alleges that on or about November 1, 22, in this county, you and Jamie Weiskup knowingly sold or offered to sell meth, same amount over, but not in the vicinity of a juvenile. Okay, so counts 1 and 5 are second-degree felonies, which carry a mandatory prison term of at least 2 years, up to 8 years set by the judge, with a possibility that that could be extended by the Department of Corrections for up to 1/2 of the term that was imposed by the court. And there's a fine of $15,000, a mandatory fine of $7,500. The rest of the counts are third-degree felonies. Each of those carry a possible prison term of 9 to 36 months in certain increments provided by law, a fine of $10,000, a mandatory fine of $5,000, and a possible license suspension of 6 months to 5 years. Now, you are entitled to have an attorney to represent you. If you don't have the money to hire one, the court will appoint one for you. And I believe you did fill out a financial disclosure form. Yes, here it is. Everything on this form correct?
Yes, I'm supposed to have a paid lawyer, but
Pardon me?
I'm supposed to have a paid lawyer, but I don't know how that works. I don't know.
You don't have the money to pay for an attorney, do you?
I got somebody else that already paid for him.
I'm sorry?
I already got somebody else that already paid for him.
Oh, you've already paid an attorney? All right.
Yeah.
Who is that?
I'm not sure. I have to get on phone and find out exactly who it is.
Wait a minute. You paid an attorney, but you don't know who it is?
Yeah, no, I have no idea. I'm gonna get to talk to him long enough.
Did you pay for it, or did somebody else pay for it?
Somebody else paid for it.
All right. And so, how do you know you have an attorney?
It's the word. I mean, just they told me
Who
they
told you
did.
that they paid for your attorney?
Nobody. I mean,
What?
I don't know.
Well, you're confusing me. Let's start over.
Just put the court appointed attorney down for right now.
Wait a minute. Let me ask you a question because you've got me confused. Have you hired an attorney to represent you?
Somebody else did.
All right. And when did that happen?
I guess when I got arrested.
Okay, yesterday?
Yeah.
All
So
right.
you're supposed to be coming up and talking.
So we have not been told who that attorney is. Do you know who
Okay,
the
that's right.
attorney is? Do you know who the attorney
No.
is? Wait till I'm done with my question. Don't interrupt me, okay?
Sorry, I'm sorry.
Because
Sorry.
when you talk when I'm talking, I can't hear what you're saying because I got a loud mouth. Now, do you know who that attorney is?
No, I don't know. At
All
this
right.
time, no, I don't.
Did this person tell you when this attorney was going to reveal themselves to us?
They're supposed to come talk to me yesterday, but I'd never seen them, so.
All right. All right. So for right now, I'm going to say then that you hire your own attorney. All right. So what we're going to do is we'll set a bail review hearing for you. I'm going to enter a not guilty plea on your behalf at this point. And I'll set that bond review hearing for Thursday morning at 8:30 a.m. So you need to call whoever it is that hired your attorney and tell them we're having a hearing. And we intend to do that by video, so that attorney won't have to come to the court. They can go ahead and get on by video. Your first pretrial is going to be set for July the 5th at 1 o'clock p.m. That'll be by Zoom as well. Your final pretrial will be August the 2nd at 8 a.m. That'll be by Zoom. And your trial will be set for August 31st at 8 a.m. And then final pretrial is 1 o'clock p.m. by Zoom, I should say, on August the 2nd. All right. Bond will be set in the amount of $25,000 plus your own recognizance, which is your promise to appear. And if you fail to appear, you could be prosecuted for an additional felony. And if convicted, sentenced on that, no matter what happens in this case, you'll also be required to pay a deposit of $171 prior to release to cover certain statutorily required fees. If you do make your bond, you'll be under pretrial supervision of the probation department at 117 East Main Street. You'll report to them immediately upon your release. You'll report once a week for 4 weeks, and after that, as they determine, undergo random drug testing that they may order. Provide current phone numbers for home, cell, and employer. Have no contact with the co-defendants, Jamie Wisecup or Donna Marie McKenzie. If recommended by probation, you'll be evaluated for substance abuse or mental health treatment. If any treatment's indicated, you enroll in and follow that during the period of this action. You'll also be under house arrest at your residence. Is at 5477, is that Brown County Line Road?
It's 5437 Brown County, in road.
Okay, 5437? Okay.
Yes.
All right, and that means you have to be there at all times unless you're working, going to and from work, medical appointments, court proceedings, in this or any other case. You can attend appointments with an attorney or a probation officer in this or any other case. You can also attend any kind of schooling, job training, educational programming, classes, etc. You also may attend church services. Other than that, you have to be here at all times, there at all times. If you violate your bond conditions, then the court could revoke that bond and have you held till further order of the court. All right. Do you have any questions, Mr. Elliott?
No, sir.
All right. Thank you.
Yep.
All right. Are you Donna Marie McKenzie?
Yes.
All right. This is case number 23 CR 116. State of Ohio versus Donna Marie McKenzie. Ms. McKenzie, you were indicted by the grand jury on June the 6th, along with Donald Earl Elliott and Jamie Wisecup. You're indicted on one count of permitting drug abuse, a 5th-degree felony. And that alleges that on or about November 1, 2022 in this county, that you being the owner, lessee, occupant, or the person that had custody, control, or supervision of premises located at 6749 Heathermore Trail in Hillsborough, not only permitted it to be used for commission of felony drug abuse, a felony drug offense, aggravated trafficking of methamphetamine by Donald, Earl Elliott, and Jamie Weiskup. So that's a 5th-degree felony, and if convicted, that carries a possible prison term between 6 and 12 months, fine of $2,500, and possible license suspension of 6 months to 5 years. Now, you're entitled to have an attorney in this matter. If you can't afford to hire one, the court will appoint one for you. I see here you're on SSI.
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, then the court will find that you are entitled to appointed counsel. Now, is this the first time that you've been in court on this case?
Yes, sir.
All right. Court will appoint Attorney Dennis Kirk of Hillsborough, Ohio, to represent you. And in the absence of counsel, I'll enter a not guilty plea on your behalf. You've never been convicted of a felony?
No.
All right. We'll set your first pretrial for July the 5th at 2 p.m. Final pretrial will be August the 2nd at 1 p.m. I'm sorry, 2 p.m. And your trial date will be August the 28th at 8 a.m. I'm going to set your bond as an OR only. That stands for own recognizance. That's your promise to appear. If you fail to appear, then you could be prosecuted for an additional felony, and if convicted, sentenced to prison for that, no matter what happens in this case. You'll be under pretrial supervision of the Probation Department on 117 East Main Street. Report to them immediately upon your release today. You know where that's located?
Yes, sir.
All right, and then you're to report to them once a week for 4 weeks, and after that, as they determine, undergo random drug testing they may order. Provide phone numbers for home, cell, and employer. Have no contact with the co-defendants. And that'd be Jamie Weiskup and Donald Earl Elliott. If recommended by probation, you'll be evaluated for substance abuse or mental health issues. If any treatment's indicated, you'll enroll in and follow that during the pendency of this action. You'll also be under house arrest at your residence, meaning you have to be there at all times, unless you're working, going to and from work, medical appointments, court proceedings in this or any other case, appointments with an attorney or probation officer in this or any other case. You may also attend any kind of schooling, job training, educational programming, etc., college classes, GED classes, whatever, and church services. Other than that, you have to be there at all times. If you fail to comply, then the court could revoke that bond and have you held till further order of the court. All right, you have any questions, Ms. McKenzie?
No, I don't, sir.
All right, thank you.